Rosita, thank you for taking this time to talk to me.
Pleasure.
My name is Annette Green, for those who will be watching this recording, and I'm a practitioner of abdominal therapy in Israel. And I first trained in 2016. And one of the unique things about the therapy that I learned and the techniques that I learned was that we teach our clients, and also there's classes where we teach students to touch their bellies, to do their own abdominal massage at home, because it complements what they might do with a practitioner, or they might just do this work and learn this work without working with somebody one-on-one. And in recent years, the teaching of this abdominal massage has actually gone online, and it was started during COVID years when people couldn't meet for either classes or one-on-one meetings. So I'd like to hear from you, how it began and what a change that was for you. And maybe you want to say a moment also about what the massage is, if you want to share a little bit about that.
Sure. It's a Maya abdominal massage, and it is now being brought to the world by the Israeli women, and then also under the Abdominal Therapy Collective. So this is an ancient massage technique that I learned from an old Maya traditional healer here in Belize. I was his apprentice for 13 years. And Don Eligio had a very, very busy practice. He might see 100 clients a week. And of those 100, perhaps 50 were women who came with mostly reproductive complaints, like late periods, early periods, no periods, fertility challenges, painful menstruation. And so what he would do for them was this abdominal massage. He also gave herbs at the end of the massage. And this massage was something that he learned from an old Maya doctor who learned from another and another back many generations. So I think that this is about 5,000 years old, and it involves massage from the abdomen to the pelvis in various strokes that you learn when you go to see a practitioner. And our system is to do the massage, take in a good health questionnaire, do the massage, and then teach the person to do their own self-care massage. The self-care massage is something that I invented along the way, because when Don Eligio taught me to do the work on the abdomen, I thought, wow, we could do that for ourselves. And then as the years went by and I began to understand the causations of uterine problems due to the fact that the uterus is held up by 14 different ligaments, and all ligaments overstretch or become too tight. And so that pulls the uterus out of its proper position, and therein lies the primary causation of most of our reproductive complaints around the world. So once I realized that that was what we were doing when we do the pelvic area massage, is that we're actually lifting the uterus, helping it to get into proper position. Therefore, all of the ligaments that hold it in place have a better chance of returning to their normal length and tensility. So after that, it can hold her up for evermore. Therefore, I thought that because many of my clients, the female clients, were involved in heavy professions, for instance, construction work. One woman was a refrigerator repair person. Another one stacked shelves and lifted boxes in a grocery store. Another of my clients had, because I was primary healthcare provider for the Mennonite community, where there are as many as 18 children in one family. So my clients had a pregnancy and a child born every second year of their lives. And all of this weighs on the uterus and its position, which is key to its health. So I thought that every day of some women's lives, their uterus is being pulled, or the uterus is being shifted from side to side, front to back, by strain and damage on the ligaments that hold her up. So that's why I thought we need to do this for ourselves, because every single day, some women are straining the uterine ligaments to the point where the uterus can't continually be out of its normal position, which then is the cause of most of the pathology, because it disrupts the arterial flow, the venous flow, the lymph, the nerve, and then the chi, or the energy flow in the body. So that's why I added this concept of self-care to Don Eligio's teaching. And it has proven to be extremely beneficial along the way. Some people say it's Rosita's gift to the world.
Yes, very much so. Okay, so thank you for that background about the self-care massage, the Your Abdominal Massage. So during COVID, maybe you want to share what happened and how the decision was made that practitioners and also educators could train and share this information with people online.
I think we all came by it naturally because life was truncated when we all went into this isolation concept during COVID. So we were not able to see clients, and some clients were in the process of a treatment series. And so I started checking in with them online just to see how they were doing. Then I had a lady contact me from Brazil with terrible, terrible menstrual cycles. So painful. She had to go to bed for 2 days of every month since she was 12 years old. Now she was 28. And in my experience, I know that a simple thing like painful menstruation is most often, not in every case, but most often due to a misplaced uterus, and that it's a simple thing to correct. So I agreed to see her online. She was the first online client. And what I could do is talk to her about the theory of the massage, how beneficial it is for all digestive complaints and reproductive issues. And I just had to figure out how to teach her online. And so basically, let me show you what I did. I actually got myself a skeleton outfit, see if you can see this, so that I could show her where the lines are and show her to do the upper work and under the ribs and then the lower work, and so that people can see that here are the hip bones and then this part here is the pelvis, and they see exactly where their hands should be. So I use this suit every time I teach the self-care. She learned the self-care. She was diligent, and those people who are diligent with the work are the ones who get the best results. And I checked in on her the next month, and she had had a menstrual cycle that was much easier but heavier. And that often happens because the uterus is getting an opportunity to really remove the debris. You could call it cleansing, but it's not dirt. It's not dirty and not requiring a cleansing. It's a flush. And the next month, no pain whatsoever, and her pain never came back. And all we were able to do was the abdominal self-care. And it changed this woman's life. I was so impressed, and I thought, we have no choice. We have to, like they say, necessity is the mother of invention. So we have all had at that time invented ways to get around not being able to see people in person. And what chance was there to see a woman in Brazil anyway? So since there were a few other instances like that during COVID with digestive problems that really improved just doing the massage. And then why not continue? So just today, I had a consultation with a woman in Florida. I've seen people in Israel and France and Germany, and basically now there is no limitation to our outreach because of doing it online. So my process is I send everybody our healthcare questionnaire, ask them to fill that out first. They send it back, and then I review it a few times so that by the time I have an appointment, they have to pay me on PayPal. And I explained it in the letter. I said, this is how it works. My fee is 125 US to 275 US, and you pay according to your ability to pay. And honestly, I don't care what people pay. Everybody gets exactly the same treatment and attention from me, no matter what amount they send. Once I see that deposit in my PayPal account at this address, I will book a Zoom appointment with you. That's a 90-minute appointment. And then I often do a follow-up without a charge, just to check in. It's usually about 30 minutes. And very often they want another session simply because they just enjoy the process so much. Then if it's necessary to recommend the yoni steam or the herbal remedies, that there's time within those 90 minutes, and then the demonstration of the self-care, there's plenty of time to fit all of that in. And I have had nothing but good results. Nothing but good results. I have had no issues that I thought, wow, this isn't safe, I shouldn't be doing that, or this doesn't work. It works. And it makes people around the world, far, far away from you, have access to this type of very effective, safe, and reliable healing modality. So I have nothing but praise for online. And then simply teaching people the online self-care takes us very, very far down the road to healing. If they're willing to do it. If they're not willing to do the self-care, or then it's like any client, even the ones who are on your table. But I do want to say, Annette, that is it my ideal? No. First of all, now that I'm 82, my practice closed about 10 years ago. And I don't see in-person clients any longer, other than for spiritual healing. For my hands kind of got very tired, so I stopped doing full body work, but I can do the self-care training, and it's something that is manageable for me and extremely valuable for the client. So,
So what is it that you find is missing or challenging about working online with somebody as opposed to in person?
Well, it would be nice to give them a treatment. That's the only thing that's missing. I always enjoyed the treatment first, and then afterwards, then teach the self-care, and then talk about the steam and talk about the herbs. Now we only have the self-care, and then talk about the steams, talk about castor oil, and then talk about the herbs. If it's appropriate where you live, it isn't appropriate all over the world. And then a follow-up email. I write everything that we talked about in the email, and I have a notebook just for those clients online. And then I review and repeat everything that we said, and I send them a document, which is on the ATC Collective Cafe site. I send them the self-care document with the instructions and the illustrations. And I send the castor oil pack instructions and the perineal steam instructions. And then I invite them, it's an open invitation, write me anytime you need extra assistance or guidance. And we have an appointment in whatever it is, 6 weeks, 4 or 6 weeks, and I want to see how you're doing. So I book the appointment on Zoom right away. And I think people feel so grateful, and they get better. Why would we deny anybody anything if it helps them to get better? That's what we're about. So this way I can treat somebody in Argentina, Brazil, anywhere in the world. What do I not like about it is that I can't get my hands on them. But it has proven to us the safety and the effectiveness of the self-care, when that's all they have is your advice, you're listening, you're familiar with their case, with their story, and then the self-care we put in their hands, and all other modalities that seem appropriate to each client. All I can say is it is very effective. It is pretty easy to do. I sit in my easy chair in my little office here, and I'm available to the world.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so what was the natural progression after you and possibly other practitioners were teaching the self-care massage individually to making the transition to teaching classes online?
Well, that again came about through COVID time. And then afterwards, we found that some of the progression of teachers requires certain classes to be taken. And because we had such easy success working online during COVID, we thought it would be the most convenient for everybody to teach portions of the class online. Some classes are all taught online. I think Wisdom 1 is the first class that will be taught online, but it's only for, I'm not sure about that. Is it only for teachers who are on the teacher's track, because that is one of their requirements? I'm not positive. I don't want to
Yeah,
say
I
that,
think
but
so.
it's not
I think
true.
that's true. I think that's true. It's only for people
Okay.
training to be educators.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
And then
talking more about
up
what we
to
call
the,
the basics classes where people
yeah,
come
that's
for
right.
maybe
Yeah,
4 or
it's
5
up to the,
hours.
yeah. Our teachers, we all work independently under the umbrella of the ATC. So some have decided to do some of their teaching online so that it is less expensive and less taxing for students to be away from home for 6 or 7 days, when some of the didactic could be done like a classroom setting on Zoom, and then the hands-on work is done in person. It's more efficient, and it's less inconvenience for the student.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And for people who participate in the basics classes, so they're just coming for 4 or 5 hours and they're learning a little bit about either uterine health or digestive health, and then they're also learning how to do the abdominal massage. What I noticed, because I sat in on a couple of classes to observe, was that sometimes the participants were from all over the globe, and they were in places that didn't necessarily have practitioners close by.
That's right.
And also I've noticed that sometimes people want to come to a workshop because it's a little bit less intense than going to see a practitioner one-on-one. And, some people prefer to do things themselves rather than go to somebody. So I think it also allows for that.
All those points are true. And yeah, I think that it just gives us an avenue of a different approach that includes more people in it, more students, and makes our work available to more men and women and children around the world. And our work is incredibly valuable and amazingly effective. And the self-care as well is super effective for people. And I feel very proud of it. And yeah, if you're in Argentina, I don't think there's a practitioner in Argentina. There's not a practitioner in Brazil. Yet we can still be of service to these women who live in pain, or anybody who has chronic digestive problems.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned Don Eligio Panti at the beginning, and how you had learned so much from him. What do you think he would say about this kind of work being spread now online?
Well, I think he would be quite amazed. I mean, he never sat in front of a computer in his life. He would not, I'm not sure he would know what online means, to be honest with you. But if I could explain it to him that it's like a movie, like a screen, he sat down to watch television when he was 95 years old. And first time he sat down to watch television, we turned it on for him, and his very own program was on.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
That was the first thing he saw. And he looked at it and he said, wow, that machine didn't forget anything we said that day. It was an interview. It was an interview with him from a Belize organization, and it was all over Belize, and it played for many years. It used to play 3 or 4 times a day for many years. So I don't think I would have to sit down and explain the concept to him. He never used a computer, never had a cell phone. So I just think that he would understand that it's an outreach to reach more people in pain. And I think he would approve on that level, that we're helping, it's helping more people to help more people. That's how I feel about online. And since I no longer do in-person full body treatments, at 82, I'm really not able to do it. I don't like to do it anymore, but I'd love to do the online consultations. I enjoy it very, very much. I'm still working, still having that contact with people where it makes you feel so good to help somebody who's been in pain for years. People who can't eat properly, every time they sit down to a meal, they feel afraid what's going to happen in an hour or two inside, and my body going to, do something bad again after I eat. So.
Okay.
Mhm.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing this with me. Is there anything else you want to add to make it feel complete?
I'd say you'll never know what it's like until you try it.
Yes, that's very true, isn't it?
And I'm willing to help anybody who needs extra assistance with their first online client. And it's easy to do and super effective. One of our favorite things, easy and effective.
I'm in.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Annette.